Keep 'em both in the tuck. Keep 'em both in the tuck.
Welcome to the Daily Sports Content Economy Podcast. It is Friday, January 23, 2026. We have a massive stack on the desk today. We've analyzed over 50 specific sources and headlines to create this deep dive, pulling heavily from the Sports Business Journal, Nielsen data, and of course the official YouTube blog.
It was a heavy stack, but the story that comes out of all that data it's absolutely incredible.
It really is. So just to give you the lay of the land for this deep dive, today we are exploring how YouTube has officially toppled traditional TV to become the dominant sports broadcaster.
And how that shift is rewriting the rules of money for, everyone from college quarterbacks to niche volleyball leagues.
We'll also look at the chaotic maturation of the NIL market, from lawsuits to gambling scandals, and why having a content strategy is now just as important for an athlete as their jump shot.
It's a classic case of the infrastructure changing first and the money, frantically trying to follow where the pikes lead.
Let's jump right into that, because the numbers here are frankly startling. We have to start with the aha moment from the latest Nielsen report. As of November 2025, YouTube, and to be clear, we're not talking about YouTube TV, the subscription service. We're talking about the main platform.
Right, the free one.
It now commands 13% of total U.S. television viewing time.
That number is the headline, but the context is everything. You have to look at the runner-up.
Netflix,
sitting at 8%. So YouTube isn't just winning. They are nearly doubling the market share of their closest competitor. They're lapping the field.
And for so long, the industry narrative, and honestly, my own assumption was that YouTube was for snackable content.
Sure, you watch it on your phone.
Exactly, on your phone while commuting or on a tablet. But the data it contradicts that completely now.
Completely. The living room takeover is what analysts are calling it. The data shows that 50% of all YouTube watch time is now happening on the big screen.
In the living room.
In the living room. It's effectively replaced the role that cable TV played 10 years ago. It's the default always on screen for the household.
There was one stat in the stack that really drove this home for me. It was about the 11:00 a.m. time slot.
Right, the daytime slot. This used to be a dead zone for premium viewing.
Totally.
But at 11 a.m., YouTube has 6.3 million viewers watching on TV screens.
Yeah.
Compare that to Netflix,
Which only has 2.8 million.
It's more than double.
Why, though? What is it about 11 a.m. that makes people choose YouTube over, say, a movie?
It's the type of consumption. At 11 in the morning, most people aren't ready to commit to a 2-hour Scorsese movie or some heavy drama series.
Right.
They want utility.
Yeah.
They want connection. They're watching sports highlights from last night, training vlogs, analysis shows, behind-the-scenes stuff.
So everything around the game.
Everything around the game. And now, as we're seeing, it's becoming the home for the game itself.
Well, they proved they could handle the bandwidth for it. We all remember the Chiefs-Chargers game in Sao Paulo. That was the first exclusive NFL game streamed in 4K.
And that technical competence was a major hurdle they had to clear. Streaming live sports in 4K requires massive bitrate stability.
Oh, absolutely. If that game had buffered, the narrative would be totally different.
But they nailed it. That was their signal to the market. We are a Tier 1 broadcaster now. We aren't just a video repository. We are a network.
Which, I guess, justifies the price tag. $2 billion annually for NFL Sunday Ticket is a lot of money, even for Google.
Exactly. You don't pay $2 billion just to serve up cat videos. You do it to anchor a subscription service.
And looking at YouTube TV, it's working. They've hit 9.5 million subscribers.
Right. That isn't a streaming skinny bundle anymore. That is, for all intents and purposes, the new cable monopoly.
But the pricing model is about to shift, right? We saw the 2026 roadmap from Neil Mohan.
This is probably the most pro-consumer shift we've seen in media in years. The roadmap confirms they're moving to true unbundling.
So no more paying for 100 channels when you only watch 3.
Exactly. They're launching genre-specific plans.
So I can finally just buy a sports plan without the cooking channels.
Correct. And the projections suggest this could undercut traditional cable costs by 30 to 40%. It's the final nail in the coffin for the Force bundle.
So if the eyeballs have moved to YouTube, that obviously changes the equation for the athletes. The platform changes, the paycheck changes.
It does. We are firmly in the era of the athlete as a media company. But what really stood out in the research is that not all athletes are adapting equally. There's a sharp divide forming between what analysts are calling monetization maximizers and distribution orphans.
Distribution orphans is a pretty harsh term. Who falls into that bucket?
It's surprisingly common. These are athletes, even whole leagues with massive followings on Instagram or TikTok. They might get 10 million views on a reel.
But they're orphans because those platforms are notoriously bad at direct revenue sharing.
Exactly. They are rich in likes, but poor in cash flow. They're just renting an audience they can't effectively monetize.
Whereas the maximizers are the ones using YouTube's own infrastructure to capture that value.
Precisely. The maximizers understand that views are just the top of the funnel. They're using a specific strategy that kept popping up in the sources.
Yeah.
The 30-70 rule.
Let's break that down. What's the 30-70 split?
It's about allocating effort versus reward. The strategy says 30% of your content production should be short form. YouTube Shorts.
Oh.
The pay on Shorts is negligible, maybe 3 cents to 10 cents per 1,000 views. It's practically zero.
But the reach is massive.
The algorithmic reach is massive. That's your discovery engine. You use the Shorts to cast a wide net and find new fans.
And then you funnel them to the 70%.
The long-form video. That's where the economics change completely. Long-form pays anywhere from $1 to $10 per 1,000 views. Plus, you have mid-roll ads, sponsorships.
So if you aren't converting that Shorts traffic, you're leaving most of your money on the table.
The vast majority.
We see this executing at a really high level with the Unrivaled Basketball League. They seem to be the poster child for this model.
Unrivaled is fascinating because they built the league backward. They didn't start with a TV deal. They started with a content engine.
They have a 38-person in-house content team.
38 people. That's bigger than the newsroom for some local TV stations.
Right.
It is a massive overhead for a startup. But look at the ROI. They don't just sell a jersey patch to Samsung. They have the Galaxy Game View, where players wear cameras, and that footage is the content.
The sponsorship is woven into the media itself.
Exactly. And their data shows 5.5 times higher engagement than traditional leagues. Because they aren't treating players like employees, they're treating them like a network of creators who happen to play basketball.
Now, does this model only work for superstars? What if you're in a sport that doesn't get millions of views, like pro volleyball or big wave surfing?
Ironically, the new tools YouTube just launched in January help the niche sports more than the giants. They rolled out interest-based targeting.
How is that different from regular demographic targeting?
Well, in the old days, you targeted males, 18-34, and just hope for the best.
Too broad.
Far too broad. Interest-based targeting lets a creator target big wave surfing fans.
Yeah.
Specifically, regardless of age or location. It means a niche volleyball league doesn't need 5 million casual viewers. They just need 50,000 superfans who they can target directly and convert to paid memberships.
It lowers the threshold for being viable.
Drastically. You can run a profitable professional league with a fraction of the audience as long as you own that relationship directly.
That's the empowering side. But we have to look at the other side of the coin. Because while media is booming, the financial side of college sports, the NIL world, is getting incredibly messy.
Messy is polite. We're witnessing the maturation crisis of the NIL market. It's moving from the Wild West phase to a high-stakes, litigious industry, and people are getting sued.
The story that was everywhere this week is the situation at Duke. They obtained a restraining order against their own quarterback, Darian Mensah.
This is a watershed moment for the NCAA. You have Mensah, a star player, who signed an NIL deal worth $8 million over 2 years.
So $4 million a year.
$4 million a year. But he decided he wanted to transfer. Duke's collective stepped in and said, "No, you signed a contract."
But wait, I thought the whole point of the transfer portal was mobility, that student athletes can move freely.
That's the theory. But Duke is arguing breach of commercial contract. They're saying, we aren't stopping you from studying elsewhere. We're stopping you from breaching this employment agreement.
That completely reframes the relationship. If a school can use a commercial contract to legally bind a student to a campus, are they really student athletes anymore?
Or are they employees with a non-compete clause? That is exactly what the courts have to decide. If Duke wins this, it essentially kills the freedom of the transfer portal.
And while the lawyers figure that out, there's an even darker element emerging. The DOJ gambling indictments were a tough read.
It felt inevitable, but it's still shocking. The Department of Justice targeted 20 NCAA basketball players. The allegation is they accepted bribes, anywhere from $10,000 to $30,000, to influence games.
Point shaving.
Exactly. But here's the key insight on why this is happening now. It's the flip side of transparency. Because NIL payments are public, or at least widely known, criminal syndicates know exactly what the market rate is.
What do you mean by that?
Well, if a fixer knows a player's only making $50,000 a year in legitimate NIL, They know that a $30,000 cash bribe is a massive incentive. It's a life-changing amount of money for that specific kid. The transparency of the salaries has created a pricing menu for bribery.
That is a terrifying vulnerability. Is there any defense against this?
The College Sports Commission is trying. They just launched anonymous tip lines this week. It shows they're trying to police it, but when you have 19-year-olds and large sums of untraceable cash, it's a very difficult game of whack-a-mole.
Amidst all the lawsuits and bribery, though, we did find a story that suggests you don't always need the biggest bank account to win.
Thank goodness for the Indiana Hoosiers.
National champions. They took down Miami 38-15, and when you look at the balance sheets, it shouldn't have been possible.
The financial disparity was wild. We crunched the numbers. Georgia had a $35 million NIL budget. Miami was operating over $30 million.
And Indiana?
Indiana won the whole thing with a budget of $13.5 million.
Less than half. How do you bridge that gap?
Operational excellence. It's Moneyball all over again. Since they couldn't afford the five-star recruits demanding $2 million up front, they went into the portal and found undervalued talent. Guys who fit their system perfectly but were overlooked.
So coaching and systems still matter.
It's a reminder that while money gets you a seat at the table, it doesn't guarantee you win the hand. You still have to build a team, not just a payroll.
Speaking of building new things, we are seeing entirely new sports rise up because they fit this new economic reality. Women's flag football is the prime example.
This is one of the fastest growing trends we saw. It was officially named an NCAA emerging sport for 2026. Obviously, the Olympics inclusion is a driver, but the economics are just as important.
It's cheaper to run.
Significantly. To set up a tackle football program, the insurance, the equipment, it's astronomical. Flag football is high-speed, low-overhead, and very content-friendly. It opens up a massive pathway for female athletes without bankrupting the athletic department.
We also saw NIL changing the career path for individuals like Luke Clanton, the golfer from Florida State.
The Clanton deal is a precedent setter. He signed with Nike before he got his PGA Tour card.
Which used to be impossible. You had to turn pro to get paid.
Correct. You used to have to give up your amateur status, leave school, and just pray you made it. Now, Nike can incubate talent.
Yeah.
They invest in him at FSU. And that partnership just transitions seamlessly when he turns pro. It de-risks the whole career for the athlete.
We've talked about watching sports, playing sports. Now we have to talk about betting on sports, because the line between watching and gambling is basically gone.
It's dissolving in real time. The big news here is the partnership between DAZN and Polymarket.
For those who don't know, explain Polymarket. It's not a traditional sports book, is it?
No, it's a prediction market. In a sports book, you bet against the house. In a prediction market, you're buying and selling shares of an outcome against other people, like a stock market.
And DAZN is integrating this directly into the video feed.
Yes, so imagine you're watching a game. A penalty kick is coming up. On your screen, you see a probability ticker. Goal, 78%. You can buy yes or sell no in real time. You aren't just betting, you are trading the game while you watch.
It sounds engaging, but also intense.
It turns every single play into a tradable asset. And the volume is staggering. The data shows these markets hit $701.7 million in daily trading volume.
Daily. That's nearly $750 million a day.
And that is why the NCAA is terrified. They sent a letter to the CFTC, the Commodity Futures Trading Commission, asking them to suspend these markets for college sports.
It goes right back to the integrity issue, the bribes.
Exactly. If there is $700 million moving around on granular outcomes, like how many yards a specific player gains, the incentive for a fixer to bribe a student athlete becomes overwhelming. It's an ecosystem.
Before we wrap up, just a couple of quick business hits. Zuffa Boxing is making moves.
Dana White's back at it. He's partnering with Fanatics for merchandise. It's a smart play. It shows you can't just launch a fight league anymore. You have to launch a retail engine at the same time. The merchant media bundle is the new standard.
And the NBA expansion rumors.
Adam Silver is still teasing us. He confirmed they aim to announce later in 2026. All signs point to Vegas and Seattle. But honestly, thinking back to our conversation about YouTube, you have to wonder if the media rights for those new teams will look different.
Right. Do they even bother with a local cable deal? Or do they go straight to a streaming partner?
If I were a betting man on Polymarket or otherwise, I'd say the days of the local cable deal are numbered.
We've covered a ton of ground today. From YouTube conquering the living room to the chaos of the transfer portal. How do we synthesize this for the listener?
I think the main theme is the removal of barriers. The barrier between watching and participating is gone. You're not just a passive viewer on a couch anymore. You are commenting, trading outcomes, subscribing directly to the athlete. The screen is a two-way street now.
And the athletes aren't just players, they're content directors.
They have to be.
No.
In 2026, if you aren't a content creator, you are leaving half your value on the table.
It really is a brave new world. I want to leave you with a final thought to chew on, something that struck me while we were putting all this research together.
Go for it.
Okay, so we've established that YouTube is the dominant network and that fans are following individual athletes' channels more than team accounts.
Right.
If the athlete owns the audience and the platform owns the distribution, do traditional sports leagues eventually just become logistical organizers?
That is the existential question.
I mean, if you're tuning in to watch the quarterback's vlog and you're betting on the quarterback stats, who really owns the franchise value in 2030? Is it the team logo on the helmet, or is it the guy holding the camera in the locker room?
I think we're going to find out the answer sooner than we think.
Thanks for listening to this edition of the Daily Sports Content Economy Podcast. If you're ready to build your content media empire, we should probably talk. Visit rootgroupmarketing.com. Thanks for watching and listening.